We now return to Let's Play 7 Grand Steps, and we are here with Aspacia, attempting to finish the Bronze Age and move on to the Iron Age. Because the ruling class game, I guess, the ruling game changes when you change an age. So let's see, do they love each other? Well, he loves her, so if I go to... Shit! I forgot about that. I have an enemy there. Well, let's just move back. Still having problems with the children. Unsurprising. No, that's not a good one. That's not a good one either. Fuck. Finally. Shut up. According to her grandparents, the story had been popular when they were kids. It still was. Restless children sitting between Aspacia and the fire begged the storyteller to perform it first, though many had memorized it. He asked the children, "Who here shall be the victim?" "Aspacia, Aspacia," they shouted. The teller began. Sing, goddess of sympathy, to calm the mountain's wrath. While fools and heroes would climb that god's feet, the bowing mundane never rise. Let your song sustain restless hearts echoing in my drum. What the fuck? He asked the children, how did her trial begin? Peace brought two lovers together and it started a war. Let's do the Trojan thing. The teller continued. A rare beauty, her blush humbled peaches bathed in mulled wine. Her betrothed was a king. The prince of their former enemy bowed and swore friendship, but when his eyes rose, they met hers and arrows struck their hearts. They escaped together at dawn to the goddess's temple and prayed for her blessing. The priestess foretold that their love was doomed to heap bones in horror upon the altar. She bade them to flee far and never rest, or the goddess's tears would drown them. They sailed and trudged to the farthest city in the prince's realm. There their bodies could run no farther. Ships would launch, armies would march, kingdoms would clash, the teller told the children excitedly. Now you have to help me tell the right story. The teller asked, what happened that caused Aspacia to act when the call to arms sounded? An undeniable love stirred her heart. To love a god means inevitable madness, yet there is no madness greater than love. Whatever action it prompted, Aspacia would justify herself because of it. She strode to war to prove and end it, certain it would never be returned. There is no greater doom than love, and her parents mourned her footprints. And so Aspacia joined the great siege. For 10 years did she labor against the enemy upon walls that had never been breached. Aspacia won glory, found comrades, and threatened conspirators. Gods were drawn to the escalating drama. They took sides, manipulating heroes like puppets until they nearly warred upon each other. Aspacia swore to protect those closest to her, for bonds bound by battle are the equal of those bound to a firstborn son. The teller asked, how was she betrayed? Her apprentice assumed Aspacia's mantle, and was killed after ignoring her instructions. Aspacia felt rage as if the storm god had cracked his mountain open and the river of the underworld had rushed out from beneath it. She wreaked a mighty vengeance upon the enemy, and its horror shook the gods. Corpses rotted under sun and moon, while Aspacia barred enemy and ally from burying them. Kings from both sides groveled before Aspacia, begged her to let the fallen rest in peace. Aspacia chastised them. They were the ones who must decide for peace. She left the field. The dead were buried, the war continued. Anger turned into bloodlust, and gods openly battled. The teller asked, how did Aspacia meet her end? I assume we're telling the story of Achilles here, so a coward discovered her vulnerability and killed her. But that wasn't until after the enemy was tricked and then defeated. Naturally, the gods were unsurprised, but Aspacia had not believed the trick would work, even though it had been proposed by the comrade she respected most. The teller continued his tale and started eating. Bastard? Some of the children wept. An elder shook her head. Real troubles are never glorious. The teller swept his hand around, indicating the survivors. He garbled, tellers who sing tales of the meek starve. What? What the fuck is going on here? Swallowing, he continued. In truth, Aspacia met more trouble in the last few years than in the 10 in my story. However, the disaster that became our reality may be told gloriously in the future. We can only guess at the reality of tonight's tale. Oh, fuck, what? The tale was completely imaginary. I assume that's my way of backing out. Most tales have shards of truth. The teller spoke to the wooden carving that stood for Aspacia and her family, all lost. It would be burned at sunrise, hopefully taking the family's sorrow with it. Are you fucking kidding me? I failed the challenge. Aspacia has heirs. What the fuck? So now I have to go back and choose from one of the children. He's got a double A in cavalry? What in the fuck just happened? We now return to Let's Play 7 Grand Steps. We're here with, who the fuck is this? Anyway, I'm trying to end the Bronze Age and move in to the Iron Age. Hopefully we can make it to the end of the age here. God damn it. This isn't going to go well at all either. Gaius stood upon a high summit. Only the sky and far mountains stood above him. Sharp ridges interrupted meadows descending. A layer of smoke down the valley hinted at civilization. Wind chilled him and scattered songs of the sheep. Gaius felt that he was to them a god. However, Gaius disbelieved family tales of divine ancestry. Let fools in the city trace themselves to the gods. Here, in the cold heights, one could live among them. Here also lurked savages and bandits. One was free to choose destiny while respecting the dangers. The fates must be more concerned with the intrigues of kings than paths worn by a shepherd. Gaius chose to discover ways to improve rural life. This sounds like a discovery. Gaius would eventually see interesting and important things. So we start all the way down at the bottom again, and I have to work my way up to the top. We'll do this next time.